Ameira has always felt different, not in the way people often say, but in a way she could never explain. Since childhood, the sea has been her only true friend. She never learned how to swim, yet never feared the ocean. It felt like it knew her, like it was alive and listening. As a child, she would sit for hours by the shore, humming songs that came to her from nowhere. The waves would rise and fall to her rhythm. Sometimes, she'd speak aloud, and the wind would shift or the water would ripple in reply. But on the morning of her 18th birthday, everything changes. She wakes with a sharp, aching pressure in her chest. Her skin feels warm and damp, even though the room is dry. When she wipes her eyes, her tears dry into salty crystals on her cheeks. She thinks it's her imagination, until she sees the tiny pearl on her pillow, formed from a single tear shed in her sleep. Trying to shake the feeling, she goes down to the shore, her safe place, only to find something unnatural. The beach is silent. No waves crashing, no wind, no birds. The ocean lies still like glass, and for the first time in her life, she feels like a stranger there. Then, faintly, she hears it. A whisper in the wind. A name, Neria. She turns, startled, heart racing. No one is around. Just the endless water stretching before her, but something is out there, she can feel it watching. Confused and drawn by instinct, she steps into the tide, and at that moment, the sea stops moving altogether. The wind dies. The clouds freeze overhead. The world goes quiet, as if the sea itself is holding its breath. And in that eerie silence, one thought rises in her mind like a forgotten memory. This isn't the beginning, it's the return. After the sea's haunting silence, Ameira returns home shaken. She doesn't tell anyone what happened, how could she? Who would believe that the sea froze just because she stepped into it? But that night, a storm hits the coast. Thunder cracks across the sky, and lightning flashes over the water. She can't sleep. Something in her bones feels restless, agitated. Like something is waking up inside her. She steps outside to clear her mind and sees flashing lights down at the beach. A crowd has gathered. A boy, maybe 19, not from the village, has been pulled from the water, half drowned. He's barely conscious, coughing and shivering as the villagers gather around him. When Ameira sees his face, something strange happens. A sharp pulse hits her in the chest. Recognition. But she's never seen him before. And then, just before the boy slips into unconsciousness, he opens his eyes, stares straight at her, and whispers, "Princess Neria." Gasps ripple through the crowd. But no one understands what he meant, no one except Ameira, who feels her blood run cold. How does this stranger know that name? The name she heard whispered by the sea. The name that no one else has ever called her. She tries to speak to him, to shake him awake, but he's out cold. The villagers take him to the healer's hut, and everyone disperses, murmuring about shipwrecks and storms. But Ameira can't sleep. That name echoes in her mind. Not just a name, a title. Princess. She begins to question everything she knows about herself, and deep down, a terrifying thought begins to form. What if I'm not who I think I am? The storm clears by morning, but Ameira feels anything but calm. The boy is still unconscious, muttering in his sleep, words in a language she doesn't understand. But one phrase keeps returning, again and again, like a prayer or a warning, she's watching. Ameira avoids the beach for most of the day. The sky is still grey, the waves sluggish, like the sea itself is recovering from something it doesn't want to speak of. She tries to distract herself with chores, with questions she can't answer, and with memories she can't place, flashes of glowing blue light, scales like armor, and voices that echo underwater. That night, restless again, she walks to the beach. The tide is low, the air unusually warm. The ocean, though quiet, feels more alive than it did before, not friendly, but alert. Aware. As she gazes out into the dark horizon, her eyes catch movement. Not a fish. Not a boat. A figure. Just beyond the breakers, standing waist deep in the water, is a tall, graceful woman. Her skin luminous under the moonlight, her eyes pale and unblinking. Her hair floats around her like seaweed caught in a current, and her presence radiates power, otherworldly and ancient. She does not move. She only stares at Ameira. Ameira's breath catches. She can't look away. She takes a step forward, but as soon as her foot touches the water, the figure vanishes, sinking soundlessly beneath the surface. The waves rise in that instant and splash against her ankles, leaving behind a single shell, small, spiral-shaped, and humming faintly in her palm. She holds it to her ear. A voice whispers through it. It's time to remember. Ameira stumbles back, heart pounding. She doesn't understand what's happening. She doesn't want to. But the sea, and someone within it, has already decided. The past is calling her home, and she won't be able to ignore it much longer.